Hello, how is everyone doing? It is your fallen angel back with another video. Today, we are going over low and high frequency electromagnetic waves in Tesla's wireless transmission of energy. But before we begin, feel free to like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's begin. Low frequency electromagnetic waves can pass through solid bodies and tend to hug the earth, while high frequency waves don't penetrate solid bodies, causing a skin effect on them, and don't hug the earth, but tend rather to travel outward, away from the earth, in straight lines. Nikola Tesla, in his Colorado Springs experiment, was the first person to investigate high voltage waves of high and low frequency, and the terrestrial, atmospheric, and solid body effects. The scope of Tesla's Colorado Springs experiments were so far-reaching that very little or nothing was said in science journals about them, because they left other scientists so dumbfounded that they were paralyzed by miscomprehension. Many of Tesla's tests in Colorado were related to electropulsion. A long wave affects the internal mass of a spaceship, synthesizing momentum by invoking the rotary motion of electromagnetism to create the drill-like electromagnetic microhelices, tubes of force, which bore through the ether as the mass moves. At the same time, a higher frequency at the opposite end of the ship, opposite to the direction of travel, causes the ether to be accelerated as it passes through the mass of the ship and its contents, with an increased angle of pitch, so the microhelical boring action propels the ship through space. Low frequency waves also make it possible to project powerful, forceful, longitudinal electromagnetic pulses to a specific distance point by sending the wave along a conductor or polarized atmospheric carrier beam of UV or higher frequency radiation. The high voltage long wave carried directionally to a distance point by the carrier beam can in turn carry additional higher frequency waves superimposed on it to deliver the high frequency exciting energy at the powerful long wave peaks. This was the basis for Tesla's transmission of electrical energy without wires inventions, as well as his energy beam and death ray inventions, as the same system can be used for all three. The manipulation of these waves characteristics is extricably involved in extropulsion. Stimulated by Tesla's study of the works of the 19th century ether physicist and his own brilliant creative intuition of the rotating magnetic field in Budapest, Hungary, 1882. This rotating magnetic field discovery was involved in his electropulsion discovery because Tesla realized that the rotary force of magnetic fields could be used to synthesize the rotating tubes of force, the naturally occurring phenomena in solid bodies spoken by Faraday and Maxwell and known to Tesla to propel a ship through the space. The tubes had also been discussed in 1881 by J.J. Thomson in England. But Thomson had never related the tubes specifically to the ether until Nikola Tesla had connected the tubes to his intended electropulsion. Tesla discovered that by using a low-frequency beam-directed pulse, he could cause, at the quarter wavelength, the eruption of a large electromagnetic pulse, which could, by carrying much higher exciting wave, excite the atmospheric gases in a region, to explosively expand them by a tremendous implosion and the absorption of a great amount of heat in the area, causing immediate freezing. This process would create an initial explosive shock wave, followed by the implosive return wave, similar to a nuclear detonation. For example, by using a low frequency of 60 CPS with a wavelength of 3,100 miles, directed by a carrier beam, a pulse could be made to erupt at 1/4 wavelength, 775 miles, corrected to 751 miles by velocity factor. By superimposing an exciting frequency of, say, 50 megahertz or so, The atmospheric gases could be excited to cause a cold implosion, which absorbs heat. By altering the wavelength and the direction of propagation, the results could be delivered to any terrestrial point. The Tesla ion bulb, fundamental to Tesla's beams, in a solid aluminum hemisphere enclosed in a glass vacuum envelope, excited by high voltage DC applied to the center of the hemispherical end. A polarized beam is emitted normal to the flat face center. The frequency is determined by the voltage. The ion beam polarizes, concentrates, and guides a spherical long-wave front, amplified by Tesla's extra coil, to a distant target, which amplifies a higher frequency wave from front superimposed upon it, which will ring in the target area at 1/4 wavelength. In fact, ring many times. Outside the bulb, in close proximity to the beam, the high voltage alternating current, power wave, of low frequency is emitted by a ring-shaped electrode and is directed along the beam's atmospherically created conductive path and is projected toward the distant target where the 1/4 wave peak delivers it at a point of greatest potential. This idea of Tesla may have been stimulated by Maxwell's concept that conductivity actually occurs in the dielectrics surrounding a conductor, with the conductor serving only to guide the current. The June 30th, 1908 Siberian implosion at Tunguska was probably a risky test or an inadvertent result of Tesla's giant Wardenclyffe oscillator, and may have been a hidden reason as to why the project was never completed. It should also be pointed out that this method involves the absorption of energy from the environment. Since heat moves from hot to cold, this was yet another great energy discovery Tesla's method opened up. The atmosphere to this possibility consistent with what he said about nuclear energy coming from the environment. The Tunguska explosion may have been the impetus for a very tempting offer made to Tesla years before by V.I. Lenin, mentioned in retrospect in November 29, 1934, letter from Tesla to J.P. Morgan, Microfilm Library of Congress. The Lenin offer would have been between 1917 and 1934, and was mentioned unsuccessfully in an attempt to tantalize Morgan. Tesla's particle beam weapon was hinted at in the following illustration. So, this is what the particle beam would have looked like. So guys, this was a short video explaining low and high frequency electromagnetic waves and Tesla's wireless transmission of energy. Feel free to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, I'd love to read them. Feel free to check us out on Patreon, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. This was your fallen angel, and I am out.